They say that dogs are a man's best friend, and by these videos, I think it's safe to say this is true. In the UK, it's estimated that 12 million households have pets, with around 51 million pets being owned, and 9 million of them being dogs. However, not all dogs have the best start to life, and in fact the dogs you see right now were all rescued. All of the dogs were rescued from Romania. Some of the dogs, you could say, had it lucky, as they were just found wandering the streets of Romania. However, some of them didn't get it so lucky and were found in worse conditions.
So why did I choose a rescue and not go to a breeder? To be honest, as a family growing up, we only ever had rescues, so all of my dogs and cats were rescue. So to be honest, it was a no-brainer for me that it would be a rescue dog rather than one from a breeder.
To be honest, I just want a dog. I'm not really interested in showing my dog or breeding my dog. And there's just so many little rescues that need a home out there that I was quite happy to just have a rescue dog rather than one from a breeder.
I chose a foster dog because I wasn't really looking to keep a dog. I already have a dog and I wanted to help more than one dog.
Why did I choose a Romanian dog and not one in a UK shelter? That's an interesting question because I sent emails to many places here in the UK. I filled in forms, I messaged people, and for months and months and months I got no reply. So it was a little bit disheartening. At that point I chose to look at abroad, and I found buddies.
Why did I choose to adopt from Romania and not a dog from the UK? To be honest, when we initially started looking, we were looking at dogs in UK shelters. Unfortunately, we never passed the first hurdle. Both my partner and I work full-time, and what we were looking for was something that would go to work with him in his van, which is something he's always done with all of his previous dogs. His work is primarily on farms, as he's a mobile mechanic stroke engineer, but a lot of it's agricultural and kind of horse boxes and things. So it's something that he'd always done. That wasn't something that seemed to appeal to the UK rescues. So I got in touch with a organisation that was based in Surrey called Dogs Walk This Way, and they brought dogs in from Romania. I explained and was completely honest about our situation, and they said, yep, they felt that actually, you know, they would find a dog that would love that kind of, you know, lifestyle.
More people are rescuing dogs from places such as Romania compared to local shelters in the UK for many reasons. For some people, it's because they are looking for a younger dog, such as a puppy, which can be quite hard to find in a UK shelter. Some people, it's because they either want or don't want a specific breed of dog. However, like it was mentioned previously, it's because of the list of requirements UK shelters go through before accepting or rejecting an application. This includes other members that are a part of the household, the environment you live in, and or the occupation/lifestyle you live. Most people find that if you are working, a UK shelter will not give you a dog, as they feel like you won't have enough time on your hands to watch and look after the dog and give it the proper care it needs.
Do you know how long they will be with you?
Well, some are here for just a few days. Paddy is my longest foster and he's been here nearly 4 months.
Did I have any expectations prior to adoption? Not really. I kind of knew that it was going to take time to possibly get a match with a dog, and that we would be, you know, maybe have to go through a few little heartbreaks before we found the right dog that would be coming to our home. But nothing other than, you know, basically just wanting to make sure we gave a dog a home.
In terms of my expectations prior to adoption, to be honest, they were very good at talking through that, you know, there can be issues because of their past. In terms of nerves, it was known that he was quite a nervous dog at the time. You know, he didn't overly trust people, understandably from his background. And he'd actually been found on a really, really busy street. And unfortunately, most of the dogs on that street were deceased from having been hit by cars. So he was one of the lucky ones, hence they called him Lucky.
The dog problem in Romania began in the 1980s when communist dictator Ceausescu forced people out of the countryside and into the city, leaving their pets behind. This led to thousands of stray dogs in the streets of Romania. Bucharest led the state-sanctioned solution of mass slaughter, so for more than 20 years dogs in Romania have been chased, beaten, captured, abused and killed.
You know, it's not very often that an adoption falls through, but unfortunately it does happen. And, you know, luckily we've only had a few cases of that. What we will try and do in those kind of situations, or, you know, when I was helping buddies, was look for either an immediate kind of adoption from another family, or move, depending on the urgency of it, to a foster home. And Paula has been one of our fosters that has dealt with ones that have fallen through.
Have you ever kept a foster dog?
I have kept Leo and I have kept Belle. Belle, come here. And I have kept Belle because their adoptions went wrong, as did Paddy's.
Why did you choose to keep them?
I kept them because, as I said, their adoptions went wrong. Belle was in her placement for 48 hours and it really wasn't a good environment for her, and she didn't cope very well, and they gave her back in 48 hours. Paddy was with somebody and they couldn't adapt to his life very well. Hang on everybody. They couldn't adapt to him. They couldn't give him the time that he needed to adapt because he was very, very frightened. And within a few days, they'd already sort of put doubts out that they couldn't really keep Paddy. In fact, I think it was in the first day, 24 hours or so, they said that they couldn't keep him, or were worried about keeping him. And a week later, I went and collected him. Leo was with a family for 3 hours. He hadn't even got into their house yet before they decided that he was a killer attack guard dog. They just thought he had the look about him. And the next day I went and picked up Leo from Hampshire.
Our home. So also what the impact on having a rescue dog has had on life. Up until getting Poppy, I used to work full time, and I decided to take some time out from work. And basically, for me, it's been brilliant because Poppy's come along. I've got this whole new life and all these new people and dogs and lots of things that are going on, which has given me a whole new social life as well as that. But also, I don't have to go to work at the minute, so it means I can get up, walk Poppy, and spend a day with her, really, which is fantastic.
Is it hard to say goodbye?
It's incredibly hard to say goodbye. I make sure that everybody that adopts one of the dogs knows that I will turn up at their house anytime to visit the dogs, and I have visited them all. Yeah, it's really hard, but you know deep down that then you're making space for another.
Advice that I'd give to people looking to adopt a rescue, I think I would say something like, you know, just be aware that they come with all their little quirks and we don't know what their previous lives have been like. You know, some have had not so bad lives, some have had some very bad lives, some of them are a bit naughty because they've never been in a house.
Go, Coda!
You know, you just have to give them a lot of time and a lot of your energy, and you know, just be calm with them.